Now that the governor of Rivers State has been served his impeachment notice, what is going to happen? Is it automatic that the governor will be impeached? How long will the process take? What are the chances Fubara has to defend himself? Let's look through the process of impeachment of a governor according to the constitutional provision. Then we'll also look at previous examples of how governors have been impeached in time past, the entire process, and what possible chances Fubara has to survive this. So let's start with the steps. What are the steps required by law and the Constitution of Nigeria to impeach a state governor? Now, the impeachment of a state governor in Nigeria is governed by Section 188 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. The process involves multiple legal steps to ensure due process and prevent abuse of power. Remember, all the problems of Nigeria can easily be solved if everybody respected the rule of law and observed due process. So let's look at the due process. Let's break down the steps to impeaching a governor. Number one, allegations of gross misconduct. So a notice of allegation must be signed by at least 1/3 of the members of the State House of Assembly, which they have done. So the notice must be presented to the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, which has been done. Now the notice must be specific with charges of gross misconduct against the governor. The notice must state specific charges of gross misconduct against the governor. Now, in this case, the specific charges of gross misconduct that have been brought against the governor, Governor Nyesom Fubara, are charges of obstructing the House of Assembly from performing its constitutional duties in Rivers State. 2, charges of spending money without the appropriation bill being passed by the State House of Assembly. So basically, those are the allegations. Now, once the allegations of gross misconduct has been served to the Speaker, the next thing is they serve the notice. The Speaker must serve a copy of the notice to the governor and each member of the House of Assembly, and the governor is given the opportunity to respond to the allegation. So let's see, will Fubara now respond to those allegations? Let's see how it goes, considering that the House has been adjourned sine die, or perhaps now that they have issued the notice of impeachment, they will come back from their adjournment. Of course, they have the power to do so. Number 3, House of Assembly resolution. After 14 days, the House of Assembly must pass a motion of impeachment by a 2/3 majority to proceed with the investigation. Don't forget, from serving the notice in step 2 to passing a resolution in step 3, you must first of all give the governor the right or the opportunity to respond to the allegations. Then, the House must now pass a motion of impeachment by at least 2/3. And of course, you will say that 27 out of 31 will form 2/3 of the members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. So, of course, they'll be able to get the motion to pass, hopefully. But once they get the resolution passed, the 4th step, which is where the problem will likely be for these Pro Wike lawmakers, is that the chief judge will now set up, or the chief judge sets up a panel. The Speaker requests the chief judge of the state to set up a 7-member investigative panel. The panel members must not be political party members or public servants, and the panel investigates and submits a report within 3 months. Step 5, the panel's report and House decision. If the panel exonerates the governor, the process ends. If the panel finds the governor guilty of misconduct, then the House can proceed with an impeachment vote. So the final impeachment vote will be step 6. the House of Assembly must pass a resolution by a two-thirds majority vote to officially remove the governor. Once passed, the governor immediately ceases to hold office. This is the 6 critical steps to impeach a governor. This is the 6 critical steps to impeach Governor Fubara. So, serving him the notice of impeachment is just one of 6 crucial steps. In fact, there is a 7th one, which includes swearing in the deputy governor. But in this case, since the deputy governor is also being served with an impeachment notice, it means that the swearing in will now be the swearing in of the speaker, because the speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly is third in line in the order of succession, according to the Constitution of Nigeria. So now that the both of them are about to be impeached at the same time by the State House of Assembly, then it means that the 7th step will be to swear in the Speaker of the House of Rivers State House of Assembly as the governor of Rivers State. Wow. So this has been the plan all along. Is this what Wike really wanted, to put his loyalist as a governor, since Fubara has done his worst? Well, there are some issues. In fact, if you go back to step 4, which is Chief Judge of the state sets up a panel, there can be a problem there. Possibly this is why you see the 27 Pro Wike Lawmakers, led by Martins Amewele, casting aspersion on the person of the Chief Judge of the state. We're casting aspersion on his. They came up with allegations of forgery, but unfortunately, it is only the governor and the approval of the NJC that can remove the Chief Judge of a state. They cannot do that, but they're already making such allegations against the state governor, the Chief Judge of Rivers State, who has the power to set up the 7-man panel or 7-member panel. Now, another problem they will have there is that it is also possible that the Chief Judge of the state can refuse to set up the 7-man panel. If the Chief Judge of Rivers State refuses to set up that 7-man panel, the impeachment fails. That's the first problem they're going to have. If the Chief Judge of Rivers State refuses to set up the 7-member panel to investigate the impeachment, the gross misconduct allegations. Now, is this possible? It has happened before in Nigeria. In fact, it has happened in Rivers State before. We will look at the details shortly. Another problem they will possibly have is also with this, with step 5, the panel's report and House decision. If the Chief Judge of Rivers State decides to set up that panel, and he is the one that will choose who the members of the panel are, although the conditions are that the 7-member panel must not be public servants, they must not be political party members. There are criteria like that, yes, but it is still the prerogative of the Chief Judge of the state to decide who the 7-member panels will be. Now, if the 7-member panel has been constituted and they investigate the impeachment allegations and they decide that it is not strong enough or that it is not valid, if they exonerate the governor, then the impeachment also fails. So the impeachment vote can fail. It can fail. I hope that the Pro Fubara lawmakers have taken note of this. Now, there are legal challenges, right? There are legal challenges. Previously, governors that have been impeached in Nigeria include Ayo Fayose. Reason for impeachment was financial mismanagement and corruption. The process, Fayose challenged the process, claiming it was politically motivated. Aftermath, he later returned in 2014 after winning elections. Joshua Dariye Plateau, 2006. The Priye Alamesia, 2005. Rashidi Ladoja, 2006. Murtala Nyako, 2014. Peter Obi, 2006. Olusegun Mimiko, 2015, that was attempted. In fact, the reason for the attempted impeachment was allegations of mismanagement and political rivalry. The move failed as it did not secure the required 2/3 in the House of Assembly. So, in fact, if Fubara can get his people to lobby one or two of the Rivers State House of Assembly members, the impeachment vote that can happen in 14 days can also fail. So there are certain roadblocks, right? So even after the impeachment succeeds, let's not forget that the governor can still go to court. Yes. Even after the governor succeeds, the governor can still go to court. Now, the question you will ask is, who appoints the chief judge of a state in Nigeria? The chief judge of a state in Nigeria is appointed by the governor of the state, but the process involves multiple steps to ensure checks and balances. The appointment process of a state chief judge in Nigeria starts with one, recommendation by the NJC, National Judicial Council, right? They will recommend qualified candidates for the position. The recommendation is usually based on seniority, experience, and competence. Then two, nomination by the state governor. The state governor or the governor of the state selects a candidate from the list recommended by the NJC. The governor cannot appoint outside of the list recommended by the NJC. Then the confirmation of the chief judge of the state is then confirmed by the State House of Assembly. And then the governor then swears him in, after which he assumes office. All right? In this case, the chief judge in Rivers was nominated and screened by these same lawmakers and was sworn in by Fubara. Unfortunately, it is that same chief judge of Rivers State that will choose the 7-member panel that will investigate the impeachment of Fubara. How does the chief judge of a state choose 7-member panels to investigate an impeachment? Yes, the chief judge of a state in Nigeria is responsible for constituting a 7-member panel to investigate an impeachment notice against a governor or deputy governor, as outlined in Section 188, subsection 5 of the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria. Step 1, request from the Speaker of the House. So, the Speaker has to write to the chief judge of the state asking the chief judge to set up a 7-member panel to investigate the impeachment notice or allegations of gross misconduct against Governor Fubara. Then the chief judge of the state can decide to set up the panel and can also decide not to set up the panel. But the selection of the panel members, the chief judge selects 7 members who, in his opinion, are of unquestionable integrity. The Constitution does not specify exact criteria, but the individuals must be neutral and credible. Who cannot be a member of the panel? No member of any legislative house, whether state or national. No political party members, to avoid bias. No public servants. The swearing in and commencement of the investigation. After selection, the panel is sworn in and given a maximum of 3 months to investigate the allegations and submit a report. Panel report and recommendation. If the panel finds no evidence of gross misconduct, the impeachment process stops. All right? However, if the panel finds the governor guilty, the House of Assembly can proceed with impeachment by passing a 2/3 majority vote to remove the governor. Controversial issues. In some cases, chief judges of state have refused to set up panels due to political pressure. Some governors have tried to influence the panel selection process. And then you have also had cases where the judiciary has intervened in cases where impeachment processes were manipulated. Are there examples of situations whereby chief judges refuse to set up a panel? Yes. There are notable cases where the chief judge refused to set up an impeachment panel in Nigeria. In some cases, in fact, in some instances, the chief judges have refused to constitute the 7-member panel due to political interference, legal concerns, or allegations of an unfair impeachment process. There are some notable examples. The first of which is Rivers State. The chief judge in question was Chief Judge Daisy Okocha in 2015. Remember, the governor involved was Rotimi Amechi. What happened? The Rivers State House of Assembly, dominated by PDP members loyal to then-President Goodluck Jonathan, attempted to impeach Amechi, accusing him of gross misconduct, just like they are doing now. The chief judge at the time, Daisy Okocha, refused to set up the panel, arguing that the process was politically motivated. What now happened? Amechi later completed his tenure without impeachment. The impeachment process collapsed, and Amechi later became a minister of transportation under Muhammadu Buhari. So in the same Rivers State, when the chief judge was Daisy Okocha, in 2015, against Rotimi Amechi, the impeachment notice was given to him. The next step was for the chief judge to set up the 7-member panel. The chief judge of the state then, Judge Daisy Okocha, refused to set up the 7-member panel. And that stopped the impeachment process. It collapsed it. Remember, I told you in step 4, that is the step that could be a problem to these 27 lawmakers. The same thing happened in Adamawa in 2014. The chief judge involved was Chief Judge Ambrose Mamadi. The governor involved was Murtala Nyako, who was governor from 2012 to 2014. What happened? The Adamawa State House of Assembly initiated impeachment proceedings against Governor Nyako for alleged corruption and mismanagement. The then chief judge of the state, Ambrose Mamadi, initially refused to set up the 7-member panel due to concerns over political interference. Under pressure, Mamadi later set up the panel, and Nyako was eventually impeached. However, in 2016, the Court of Appeal overturned the impeachment, ruling that due process was not followed. Yes, so even when the impeachment succeeds, the governor or the impeached governor can go to court to seek redress. The same thing happened with Oyo, right? Governor Ladoja had a political conflict with his godfather, Chief Lamidi Adedubu. In fact, what is happening in Rivers State now is what happened in Oyo State, godfather-godson dispute in 2006. The Oyo State House of Assembly, dominated by Adedubu's loyalists, moved to impeach him. The state chief judge, Badejoku Adini, initially refused to constitute the panel, stating that the process was unconstitutional. But under severe political pressure, another chief judge was appointed, who then set up the panel. Ladoja was impeached, but the Supreme Court later reinstated him in 2007, ruling that the process was illegal. Of course, the process will be illegal because the process of appointment of a state chief judge involves nomination by the state governor. So if a state chief judge refuses to set up a 7-man panel and you use federal might to force the NJC to send a list and the governor refuses, and then the State House of Assembly decides to pick one and passes the screens him, you still require the governor to swear him in. If the governor refuses to swear him in, then what happens? The process will be flawed. So there are a lot of problems awaiting these 27 lawmakers that are loyal to Pro Wike. A lot of these problems. So will the impeachment notice stand? Will the impeachment notice stand? Well, Nigerians are watching and Nigerians are waiting. Let's see how it goes.